and go to the new live so that I can see what people say. There we go. All right, that's all set up except for the pinned comment, which I'm going to put up on there so that people can see how to get to the Discord and everything. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I am done. Let me check if anybody is saying anything. Oh, Jerry, you found the cat channel. Yeah, it's Paws, Purrs, and Pandemonium. Many kitty videos on there. I do cat videos over here as well, but most of the time it's got a Bible verse or something like that on it as well. All right. So let me take a drink real quick and I will read chapter 26. Okay. Then it will be when you enter the land which Yahweh your God gives you as an inheritance, and you possess it and live in it, that you shall take some of the first of all the fruit of the ground, which you bring in from your land that Yahweh your God gives you, and you shall put it in a basket and go to the place where Yahweh your God chooses for his name to dwell. And you shall go to the priest who is in office in those days, and say to him, I declare this day to Yahweh my God that I have entered the land which Yahweh swore to our fathers to give us. Then the priest shall take the basket from your hand and set it down before the altar of Yahweh your God. And you shall answer and say before Yahweh your God, My father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down to Egypt and sojourned there, few in number, but there he became a great, mighty, and populous nation. And the Egyptians treated us harshly and afflicted us and imposed hard slave labor on us. Then we cried out to Yahweh, the God of our fathers, and Yahweh heard our voice and saw our affliction and our toil and our oppression. And Yahweh brought us out of Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, and with great terror and with signs and wonders. And he has brought us to this place and has given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. So now behold, I have brought the first of the fruit of the ground, which you, O Yahweh, have given me. And you shall set it down before Yahweh your God, and worship before Yahweh your God, and you and the Levite and the sojourner who is among you shall be glad in all the good which Yahweh your God has given you and your household. When you have finished paying all the tithe of your produce in the 3rd year, the year of tithing, then you shall give it to the Levite, to the sojourner, to the orphan, and to the widow, that they may eat within your gates and be satisfied. Then you shall say before Yahweh your God, I have purged the sacred portion from my house, and I have also have given it to the Levite and the sojourner, the orphan and the widow, according to all your commandments which you have commanded me. I have not trespassed against or forgotten any of your commandments. I have not eaten of it while mourning, nor have I purged any of it while I was unclean, nor have I given any of it to the dead. I have listened to the voice of Yahweh my God. I have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation from heaven and bless your people Israel and the ground which you have given to us, a land flowing with milk and honey, as you swore to our fathers. This day Yahweh your God commands you to do these statutes and judgments. You shall therefore be careful to do them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have today declared Yahweh to be your God, and that you would walk in his ways and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and listen to his voice. And Yahweh has today declared you to be his people, a treasured possession, as he promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations which he has made, for praise and name and beauty, and that you shall be a holy people to Yahweh your God, as he has spoken. And that was chapter 26. Okay. Wow, there's still nobody over in the vertical. I don't know what's going on, guys. Interesting. But that's okay. Except where I had just went to the community and pasted the links. And now it changed. That's okay. They'll find it. I hope anyway. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, God will get it where it needs to go. I think Friday nights tend to be a little bit better later. So we'll see. I'm going to make sure the settings are good and there's not something I'm missing, but then I'm just going to carry on reading and we'll see how it goes. Okay, yep, all looks well. Deuteronomy chapter 27. Then Moses and the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep the entire commandment which I am commanding you today. So it will be on the day when you cross the Jordan to the land which Yahweh your God gives you, that you shall set up for yourself large stones and coat them with lime and write on them all the words of this law when you cross over, so that you may enter the land which Yahweh your God gives you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Yahweh, the God of your fathers, promised you. So it will be when you cross the Jordan, you shall set up on Mount Ebal these stones, as I am commanding you today, and you shall coat them with lime. Moreover, you shall build there an altar to Yahweh your God, an altar of stones. You shall not wield an iron tool on them. You shall build the altar of Yahweh your God of uncut stones, and you shall offer on it burnt offerings to Yahweh your God. And you shall sacrifice peace offerings and eat there and be glad before Yahweh your God. And you shall write on the stones all the words of this law very distinctly. Then Moses and the Levitical priests spoke to all Israel, saying, be silent and listen, O Israel. This day you have become a people for Yahweh your God. You shall therefore listen to the voice of Yahweh your God and do his commandments and his statutes, which I am commanding you today. Hello.
Hello.
You have brought Geary in?
Yes, Geary would like to watch you preach.
Preach. I don't preach, I just read. Hello, Geary. Do you mind asking Kenny if he forgot about my coffee?
Yes.
Do you want to lay on the pillow? Or do you want to go over with Daniel and Weezy? It's up to you. You could lay on the pillow. You can see out the window from the pillow, too. There you go. Okay. Moses also commanded the people on that day, saying, when you cross the Jordan, these shall stand on Mount Gerizim to bless the people: Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. For the curse, these shall stand on Mount Ebal: Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. The Levites shall then answer and say to all the men of Israel with a loud voice, cursed is the man who makes a graven image or a molten image, an abomination to Yahweh, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and sets it up in secret. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Oh, this is Bagheera or Riri.
Oh crap! I just.
Hey, excuse me, what?
Sorry.
What do you need?
There's
Okay, but what do you need?
Nothing. I just.
What do you need?
Sorry, I put it in the microwave and then
That's okay.
I forgot about it.
What did you come in for is what I'm saying.
Well,
Do you just want to listen?
yeah.
Okay, well then just sit over
I
there.
accidentally stepped.
That's fine. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Thank you, Kenneth. Oh, it's even in my new cup. I haven't even used my new cup yet. Live life in full bloom. I love the cups from the Dollar Tree. Okay. Cursed is he who dishonors his father or mother, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who moves his neighbor's boundary mark, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who leads a blind person astray on the road, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who perverts the justice due a sojourner, orphan, and widow, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who lies with his father's wife because he has uncovered his father's skirt. And come on this side, baby, and give me just a minute. And all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who lies with any animal, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who lies with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who lies with his mother-in-law, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who strikes his neighbor in secret, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who takes a bribe to strike down innocent blood, and all the people shall say amen. Cursed is he who does not confirm the words of this law by doing them, and all the people shall say amen. And that was chapter 27 of Deuteronomy.
Steven stepped in something?
Look at me, mine.
Hey, can you guys give me just 1 second, please? Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Scott says hi, Shiloh. Tell Steven you said hi too.
Hi, Stephen.
Yeah, in here I have Gary, Queen Leafy, and Daniel. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink and then I will read Deuteronomy chapter 28. Oh, it looks like somebody has joined us over in the vertical stream, so it's not completely broken. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's okay. Let's see if it'll let me edit the community post on YouTube. A lot of times it won't, especially if there's a picture, but we'll see. That way I can edit the actual correct link in there. Or try. There we go. Got it. Get to my community. Man, I even had everything set up ahead tonight. I guess it did not behoove me to do. Okay, vertical stream. I'm just gonna change that. There we go. Okay. And I'll put it over in the Discord while I'm at it as well. And on to chapter 28. Oh no. You'll have to go get some more, huh? Do you use, when you say double cream, it's like heavy cream over here, right? Or do you just mean you put twice the amount? Oh no. Okay. Hey, Scott, I wanted to send you something if you wouldn't mind. I have some stickers I was going to send one to Carla, and I'd like to send one to you. So if you feel comfortable giving me your address, or maybe a P.O. box or something, if you feel comfortable with that, can you message it to me on Discord so that I can do that? Okay. I'm going to take one more drink of my coffee since I just got it. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. We are in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And also, if you are on the vertical stream and would like to hear music in the background and not have to listen to the fan and the air purifier and every little noise I make, the main stream is better for that. And I'm actually going to copy the link and put it over there in case somebody would like to. Okay. In just a second. Oh, you didn't have to put it right out here. Here, honey, I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to let you... Can you remove that comment? I'd rather you have sent it to me in an email or on Discord, honey, because I don't think you want to just give that out to anybody here in the World Wide Web. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to paste it so that I have it. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28. Now it will be, if you diligently listen to the voice of Yahweh your God, being careful to do all his commandments which I am commanding you today, Yahweh your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth, and all these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you listen to the voice of Yahweh your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the offspring of your body, and the produce of your ground, and the offspring of your beasts, the increase of your herd, and the young of your flock. Blessed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. Yahweh shall cause your enemies who rise up against you to be defeated before you. They will come out against you one way and will flee before you 7 ways. Yahweh will command the blessing upon you in your barns and in all that you send forth your hand to do. And he will bless you in the land which Yahweh your God gives you. Yahweh will establish you as a holy people to himself, as he swore to you. If you keep the commandments of Yahweh your God and walk in his ways, so all the peoples of the earth will see that you are called by the name of Yahweh, and they will be afraid of you, and Yahweh will make you abound in prosperity, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your beast, and in the produce of your ground, in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers to give you. Yahweh will open for you his good storehouse, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And Yahweh will make you the head and not the tail, and you only will be above, and you will not be underneath. If you listen to the commandments of Yahweh your God, which I am commanding you today, to keep and to do, and do not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, to the right or to the left, to walk after other gods to serve them. Oh, I see. Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't seem like a complete. Thank you, I corrected that. But it will be, if you do not listen to the voice of Yahweh your God, to keep and to do all his commandments and his statutes with which I am commanding you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Cursed shall be the offspring of your body and the produce of your ground, the increase of your herd and the young of your flock. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. Yahweh will send upon you the curse, confusion, and rebuke, and all that you send forth your hand to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly, on account of the evil of your deeds, because you have forsaken me. Yahweh will make the pestilence cling to you until he has consumed you from the land where you are entering to possess it. Yahweh will strike you with consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with fiery heat, and with the sword, and with scorching wind, and with mildew, and they will pursue you until you perish. And the heaven which is over your head shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you iron. Yahweh will make the rain of your land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down on you until you are destroyed. Yahweh shall cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will go out one way against them, but you will flee 7 ways before them. And you will become an example of terror to all the kingdoms of the earth, and your carcasses will be food to all birds of the sky and to the beasts of the earth, and there will be no one to frighten them away. Yahweh will strike you with the boils of Egypt, and with tumors, and with the scab, and with the itch from which you cannot be healed. Yahweh will strike you with madness, and with blindness, and with bewilderment of heart. And you will grope at noon as the blind man gropes in darkness, and you will not succeed in your ways, but you shall only be oppressed and robbed all your days, with none to save you. You shall betroth a wife, but another man will violate her. You shall build a house, but you will not live in it. You shall paint a vineyard, but you will not use its fruit. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will not eat of it. Your donkey shall be torn away from you and will not be returned to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you will have none to save you. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, while your eyes look on and yearn for them all the day long, but there will be nothing you can do. A people whom you do not know shall eat up the produce of your ground and all your labors, and you will never be anything but oppressed and crushed all your days. And you shall be driven mad by the sight of what your eyes see. Yahweh will strike you on the knees and legs with sore boils, from which you cannot be healed, from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Yahweh will lead you and your king, whom you set over you, to a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. You shall become an object of horror, a proverb, and a byword among all the people where Yahweh drives you. You shall bring out much seed to the field, but you will gather in little, for the locust will consume it. You shall plant and cultivate vineyards, but you will neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm will devour them. You shall have olive trees throughout your territory, but you will not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olives will drop off. You shall become the father of sons and daughters, but they will not be yours, for they will go into captivity. The cricket shall possess all your trees and the produce of your ground. The sojourner who is among you shall rise above you higher and higher, but you will go down lower and lower. He shall lend to you, but you will not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you will be the tail. So all these curses shall come on you and pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed. because you would not listen to the voice of Yahweh your God to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. And they shall become a sign and a wonder on you and your seed forever. Because you did not serve Yahweh your God with gladness and a merry heart, because of the abundance of all things, therefore you shall serve your enemies, whom Yahweh will send against you, in hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in lack of all things. In the lack of all things. And he will put an iron yoke on your neck until he has destroyed you. Yahweh will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as the eagle swoops down, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, who will have no respect for the old, nor show favor to the young. Moreover, it shall eat the offspring of your herd and the produce of your ground until you are destroyed. Who also will not allow grain, new wine, or oil, and the increase of your herd or the young of your flock to remain for you until they have caused you to perish. And it shall besiege you in all your gates until your high and fortified walls in which you trusted come down throughout your land. And it shall besiege you in all your gates throughout your land which Yahweh your God has given you. Then you shall eat the offspring of your own body, the flesh of your sons and of your daughters, whom Yahweh your God has given you, during the siege and the distress by which your enemy will oppress you. The man who is refined and very delicate among you shall be hostile toward his brother and toward the wife he cherishes, and toward the rest of his children who remain, so that he will not give even one of them any of the flesh of his children which he will eat, since he has nothing else remaining, during the siege and the distress by which your enemy will oppress you in all your gates. The refined and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground for delicateness and refinement, shall be hostile toward the husband she cherishes, and toward her son and daughter, and toward her afterbirth, which issues from between her legs, and toward her children whom she bears, for she will eat them secretly for lack of anything else during the siege and the distress by which your enemy will oppress you in your gates. If you are not careful to do all the words of this law which are written in this book, to fear this glorious and fearsome name, Yahweh your God, then Yahweh will bring wondrous plagues on you, and plagues on those who are your seed, even great and enduring plagues, and miserable and enduring sicknesses. And he will bring back on you all the diseases of Egypt of which you were afraid, and they will cling to you. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, Yahweh will bring on you until you are destroyed. Then you shall remain few in number, whereas you were as numerous as the stars of heaven, because you did not listen to the voice of Yahweh your God. And it will be that as Yahweh delighted over you to prosper you and multiply you, so Yahweh will delight over you to make you perish and destroy you, and you will be torn from the land where you are entering to possess it. Moreover, Yahweh will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, and there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone, which you or your fathers have not known. Moreover, among those nations you shall find no relief, and there will be no resting place for the sole of your foot, but there Yahweh will give you a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and despair of soul. So your life shall hang in doubt before you, and you will be in dread night and day, and shall not have any faith in your life. In the morning you shall say, would that it were evening, and at evening you shall say, would that it were morning. Because of the dread of your heart which you dread, and because of the sight of your eyes which you will see. And Yahweh will bring you back to Egypt in ships by the way about which I spoke to you. You will never see it again. And there you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but there will be no buyer. And that, my friends, was Deuteronomy chapter 28. That's a rough one, huh? Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I am going to take a drink, and then we will carry on into chapter 29 of Deuteronomy. Me too. Me too, Scott. But that one, it's like, there's no holds barred, right? God's like, I said what I said. pretty clear, if you ask me. I mean, just imagine being someone alive at that time, seeing God, you know, seeing the glory of God, seeing the cloud and the fire by day and night, and knowing, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is a God and everything, and telling your children and your grandchildren and stuff like that, and then just being so just telling them and desperately wanting them to believe as it starts to kind of slip away in those first generations. I don't know. Okay, give me just a second here to check what's going on. It looks like we do have several people in the vertical stream now. Praise God. I was worried that it was broken. Welcome to each of you, and God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Deuteronomy chapter 29. Actually, I'm going to take one more drink. These are the words of the covenant which Yahweh commanded Moses to cut with the sons of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he had cut with them at Horeb. And Moses summoned all Israel and said to them, You have seen all that Yahweh did before your eyes in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and all his servants and all his land, the great trials which your eyes have seen, those great signs and wonders. Yet to this day Yahweh has not given you a heart to know, nor eyes to see, nor ears to hear. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes have not worn out on you, and your sandal has not worn out on your foot. You have not eaten bread, nor have you drunk wine or strong drink, in order that you might know that I am Yahweh your God. Then you came to this place, and Sihon the king of Heshbon and Og the king of Bashan came out to meet us for battle. But we struck them down, and we took their land and gave it as an inheritance to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of the Manassites. Manassites, I think is actually how it's pronounced. So you shall keep the words of this covenant to do them, that you may prosper in all that you do. You stand today, all of you, before Yahweh your God, your heads, your tribes, your elders, and your officers, even all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and the sojourner who is within your camps, from the one who chops your wood to the one who draws your water, that you may enter into the covenant with Yahweh your God, and into his oath which Yahweh your God is cutting with you today, in order that he may establish you today as his people, and that he may be your God, just as he spoke to you, and as he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Now not with you alone am I cutting this covenant and this oath, but both with those who stand here with us today in the presence of Yahweh our God, and with those who are not with us here today. For you know how we lived in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the midst of the nations through which you passed. Moreover, you have seen their detestable things, and their idols of wood, stone, silver, and gold, which they had with them. Lest there be among you a man or woman, or family or tribe, whose heart turns away today from Yahweh our God, to go to serve the gods of those nations, lest there be among you a root bearing poisonous fruit and wormwood. And it will be when he hears the words of this curse that he will bless himself in his heart, saying, I have peace, though I walk in the stubbornness of my heart, in order to sweep away the watered land with the dry. Yahweh shall not be willing to pardon him, but rather the anger of Yahweh and his jealousy will burn against that man, and every curse which is written in this book will rest on him, and Yahweh will blot out his name from under heaven. Then Yahweh will separate him out for adversity from all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant which are written in this book of the law. And the generation to come, your sons who rise up after you, and the foreigner who comes from a distant land, shall see the plagues of the land and the diseases with which Yahweh has afflicted it, and they will say, all its land is brimstone and salt, a burning waste, unsown and nothing sprouting, and no grass grows in it, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, which Yahweh overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. And all the nations will say, why has Yahweh done thus to this land? Why this great burning anger? Then men will say, because they forsook the covenant of Yahweh, the God of their fathers, which he cut with them when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. Do you need me to mute it?
Am I interrupted? I don't need to. You don't need to mute it.
What's that?
If you're in the middle of a chapter, I just wanted to tell like a kind of funny story.
Go ahead.
I was taking a nap, and I had a dream. It was the most incredible dream. It was absolutely prophetic. I was philosophizing about life
Yeah.
while I was making spring rolls. I've never made spring rolls before, or even thought about making spring rolls.
I was thinking about making dumplings and spring rolls later.
And the thing is, in the spring roll, or the dream, the spring rolls, they were made with popcorn chicken.
Oh yeah.
And so as the history books foretold, I made spring rolls with popcorn chicken, sweet and sour sauce, and carrots.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were disgusting.
Wait, you made them
I made them right now. You want one?
not if they're disgusting.
I don't even know how to wrap it. It's mostly just because I can't wrap it.
What did you use? The rice paper?
Yeah.
That paper is not what you deep fry in. And spring rolls
No, I didn't
generally.
deep fry it. I just made it cold.
Oh.
I can find that cold stuff.
Oh. Well, we'll figure out a good recipe for you.
I can have some popcorn chicken.
Avery. He's making you hungry, huh? And they went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods whom they have not known, and whom he had not apportioned to them. Therefore the anger of Yahweh was kindled against that land, to bring upon it every curse which is written in this book, and Yahweh uprooted them from their land in anger and in fury and in great wrath, and he cast them into another land, as it is this day. The secret things belong to Yahweh our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our sons forever, that we may do all the words of this law. And that was Deuteronomy chapter 29. Yeah, they do tend to sound quite a bit alike on recordings, especially. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to pray with anybody who needs it. Okay. I'm going to take a drink and then we will carry on into chapter 30. Okay. So it will be, when all of these things have come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you cause these things to return to your heart in all the nations where Yahweh your God has banished you, and you return to Yahweh your God and listen to his voice with all your heart and soul, according to all that I am commanding you today, you and your sons, then Yahweh your God will return you from captivity and return his compassion on you. And he will gather you again from all the peoples where Yahweh your God has scattered you. If those of you who are banished are at the ends of the sky, from there Yahweh your God will gather you, and from there he will take you back. And Yahweh your God will bring you into the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. Moreover, Yahweh your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed to love Yahweh your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you may live. And Yahweh your God will inflict all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you. And you shall return and listen to the voice of Yahweh, and you shall do all his commandments which I am commanding you today. Then Yahweh your God will prosper you abundantly in all the work of your hand, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your cattle, and in the produce of your ground. For Yahweh will return to rejoice over you for good, just as he rejoiced over your fathers when you listened to the voice of Yahweh your God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, when you return to Yahweh your God with all your heart and soul. For this commandment which I am commanding you today is not too difficult for you, nor is it far from you. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up to heaven for us and get it for us and make us hear it, that we may do it. Nor is it beyond the sea that you should say, who will cross the sea for us and get it for us and make us hear it, that we may do it. But the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, and death and calamity. In that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that you may live and multiply, and that Yahweh your God may bless you in the land where you are entering to possess it. But if your heart turns away, and you will not listen, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I declare to you today that you shall surely perish. You will not prolong your days in the land where you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess it. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. So choose life in order that you may live, you and your seed, by loving Yahweh your God, by listening to his voice, and by holding fast to him. For this is your life and the length of your days, that you may live in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. And that was Deuteronomy chapter 30. Okay. We're just cruising right along tonight. Okay, just a moment. I have something in my eye. Actually, I'm going to turn my heat off while I'm thinking about it. It's getting a little bit too warm in here. Okay. One moment. Oh, it looks like Carla was asking for the regular link. Copy it and put it over there in the Discord for her. And then I will go check the announcements. It should have been both in there. Oh yeah. And actually I should take out the vertical one because all right. Now we can carry on into chapter 31 of Deuteronomy. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. So Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel, and he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to come and go, and Yahweh has said to me, you shall not cross this Jordan. It is Yahweh your God who will cross ahead of you. He will destroy these nations before you, and you shall dispossess them. Joshua is the one who will cross ahead of you, just as Yahweh has spoken. And Yahweh will do to them just as he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites, and to their land, when he destroyed them. And Yahweh will give them over before you, and you shall do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or be in dread of them, for Yahweh your God is the one who goes with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Then Moses called to Joshua and said to him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and courageous, for you shall go with this people into the land which Yahweh has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall give it to them as an inheritance. And Yahweh is the one who goes ahead of you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. So Moses wrote this law and gave it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and to all the elders of Israel. Then Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, at the time of the year of the remission of debts, at the feast of booths, when all Israel comes to appear before Yahweh your God at the place which he will choose, you shall read this law in front of all Israel in their hearing. Assemble the people, the men and the women and little ones, and the sojourner who is within your gates, so that they may hear and so that they may learn and fear Yahweh your God, and be careful to do all the words of this law. And their children who have not known will hear and learn to fear Yahweh your God all the days you live on the land which you are about to cross the Jordan to possess. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Behold, the time for you to die is near. Call Joshua and present yourselves at the tent of meeting, that I may commission him. So Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves at the tent of meeting. And Yahweh appeared in the tent in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood at the doorway of the tent. And Yahweh said to Moses, Behold, you are about to lie down with your fathers, and this people will arise and play the harlot with the foreign gods of the land, into the midst of which they are going, and they will forsake me and break my covenant which I have cut with them. Then my anger will be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them and hide my face from them, and they will be consumed, and many evils and troubles will find them, so that they will say in that day, Is it not because our God is not among us that these evils have found us? But I will surely hide my face in that day, because of all the evil which they will do, for they will turn to other gods. So now, write this song for yourselves and teach it to the sons of Israel. Put it in their mouths, so that this song may be a witness for me against the sons of Israel. For when I bring them into the land flowing with milk and honey, which I swore to their fathers, and they have eaten and are satisfied and become fat, then they will turn to other gods and serve them and spurn me and break my covenant. Then it will be, when many evils and troubles have found them, that this song will answer them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten from the mouths of their seed. For I know their intent which they are developing today, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. So Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the sons of Israel. Then he commissioned Joshua the son of Nun and said, Be strong and courageous, for you shall bring the sons of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with you. And it happened, when Moses finished writing the words of this law in a book until they were complete, that Moses commanded the Levites who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, saying, Take this book of the law and place it beside the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your God, that it may be there as a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. Behold, while I am still alive with you today, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. How much more then after my death? Assemble to me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their hearing, and call the heavens and the earth to witness against them. For I know that after my death you will act corruptly and turn away from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will befall you in the last days, for you will do that which is evil in the sight of Yahweh, provoking him to anger with the work of your hands. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of this song until they were complete. And that was Deuteronomy chapter 31. Oh, hey, Carla, I'm glad you made it. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better too. Slow and steady, huh? Okay. Welcome to those just coming in. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. And we're headed into Deuteronomy chapter 32. Give ear, O heavens, and let me speak, and let the earth hear the words of my mouth. Let what I have learned drop as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, as the droplets on the fresh grass, and as the showers on the herb. For I proclaim the name of Yahweh. Ascribe greatness to our God, the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are just. A God of faithfulness and without injustice, righteous and upright is he. They have acted corruptly toward him. They are not his children because of their defect, but are a perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus repay Yahweh, O people who are wickedly foolish and without wisdom? Is not he your father who has bought you? He has made you and established you. Remember the ancient days. Consider the years from generation to generation. Ask your father, and he will declare to you, your elders, and they will speak to you. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the allotment of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the howling waste of a wilderness. He encircled him, he cared for him, he guarded him as the pupil of his eye. Like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that hovers over its young, he spread his wings and caught them, he carried them on his pinions. Yahweh alone guided him, and there was no foreign god with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, and he ate the produce of the field, and he made him suck honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock, curds of cows, and milk of the flock, with fat of lambs, and rams, the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the finest of the wheat, and of the blood of grapes you drank wine. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked, you grew fat, thick, and sleek. Then he abandoned God who made him, and treated the rock of his salvation with wicked foolishness. They made him jealous with strange gods. With abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons who were not God, to gods whom they have not known, new gods who came lately, whom your fathers did not dread. You neglected the rock who begot you, and forgot the God who brought you forth. And Yahweh saw this and spurned them, because of the provocation of his sons and daughters. Then he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a perverse generation, sons in whom is no faithfulness. They have made me jealous with what is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their idols. So I will make them jealous with those who are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a wickedly foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and it burns to the lowest part of Sheol. And it consumes the earth with its produce, and it sets on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap calamities on them. I will exhaust my arrows on them. They will be wasted by famine and consumed by plague and bitter destruction, and the teeth of beasts I will send upon them. With the venom of crawling things of the dust, outside the sword will be reeve, and inside terror. Both choice man and virgin, the nursing baby with the man of gray hair. I would have said, I will cut them to pieces. I will cause the memory of them to cease from men. Had I not feared the provocation by the enemy, lest their adversaries misjudge, lest they say, our hand is triumphant, and Yahweh has not done all this. For they are a nation where counsel perishes, and there is no discernment in them. Would that they were wise, that they had insight into this, that they would understand their future. How could one pursue 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them, and Yahweh had handed them over? Indeed, their rock is not like our rock. Even our enemies themselves judge this. For their vine is from the vine of Sodom and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison, their clusters bitter. Their wine is the venom of serpents and the deadly poison of cobras. Okay, hang on just a second. Is it not laid up in store with me, sealed up in my treasuries? Vengeance is mine and retribution. In due time their foot will stumble, for the day of their disaster is near, and the impending things are hastening upon them. For Yahweh will render justice to his people, and will have compassion on his slaves, when he sees that their strength is gone, and there is none remaining, bond or free. And he will say, where are their gods, the rock in which they sought refuge? Who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your hiding place. See now that I am he, and there is no God besides me. It is I who put to death and give life. I have wounded, and it is I who heal, and there is no one who can deliver from my hand. Indeed, I lift up my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, if I sharpen my flashing sword and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will render vengeance on my adversaries. And I will repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword will devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives. From the long-haired leaders of the enemy, O nations, cause his people to shout for joy. For he will avenge the blood of his slaves, and he will render vengeance on his adversaries, and he will atone for his land and his people. Then Moses came and spoke all the words of this song in the hearing of the people, he and Joshua the son of Nun. Then Moses finished speaking all these words to all Israel, and he said to them, place in your heart all the words with which I am warning you today, which you shall command your sons to be careful to do, even all the words of this law. For it is not an idle word for you. Indeed, it is your life. And by this word days in the land, which you are about to cross the Jordan to possess. And Yahweh spoke to Moses that very same day, saying, go up to this mountain of the Abiram, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, opposite Jericho, and look at the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the sons of Israel for a possession. Then die on the mountain where you ascend, and be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people, because you both acted unfaithfully with me in the midst of the sons of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because you both did not treat me as holy in the midst of the sons of Israel. For you shall see the land at a distance, but you shall not go there, into the land which I am giving the sons of Israel. And that was Deuteronomy chapter 32. Welcome to those just joining us. God bless you. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to take a drink before I carry on reading. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 33. Now this is the blessing with which Moses, the man of God, blessed the sons of Israel before his death. And he said, Yahweh came from Sinai, and he dawned on them from Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran, and he came from the midst of 10,000 holy ones. At his right hand there was flashing lightning for them. Indeed, he loves the people. All your holy ones are in your hand, and they followed in your steps. Everyone is bearing up your words. Moses commanded us with a law, a possession for the assembly of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun, when the heads of the people were gathered, the tribes of Israel together. May Reuben live and not die, nor his men be few. and this regarding Judah. So he said, Hear, O Yahweh, the voice of Judah, and bring him to his people. With his hands he contended for them, and may you be a help against his adversaries. Of Levi he said, Let your Thummim and your Urim belong to your Holy One, whom you tested at Massa, with whom you contended at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and his mother, I did not consider them. And he did not recognize his brothers, nor did he know his own sons. For they kept your word, and they observed your covenant. They shall teach your judgments to Jacob, and your law to Israel. They shall put incense before you, and hold burnt offerings on your altar. O Yahweh, bless his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Crush the loins of those who rise up against him, and those who hate him, so that they will not rise again. Of Benjamin he said, May the beloved of Yahweh dwell in security by him, who shields him all the day, and he dwells between his shoulders. Of Joseph he said, Blessed of Yahweh be his land, with the choice things of heaven, with the dew, and from the deep lying beneath, and with the choice produce of the sun, and with the choice yield of the months, and with the best things of the ancient mountains, and with the choice things of the everlasting hills, and with the choice things of the earth and its fullness, and the favor of him who dwelt in the bush. Let it come to the head of Joseph, and to the top of the head of the one distinguished among his brothers. As the firstborn of his ox, splendor is his, and his horns are the horns of the wild ox. With them he will push the peoples all at once to the ends of the earth, and those are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and those are the thousands of Manasseh. Of Zebulun he said, Be glad, Zebulun, in your going forth, and Issachar in your tents. They will call peoples to the mountain. There they will offer righteous sacrifices, for they will draw out the abundance of the seas, and the hidden treasures of the sand. Of Gad he said, Blessed is the one who enlarges Gad. He lies down as a lion, and tears the arm, also the top of the head. Then he provided the first part of himself, for there the ruler's portion was reserved, and he came with the heads of the people. He did the righteousness of Yahweh, and his judgments with Israel. Of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp that leaps forth from Bashan. Of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor, and full of the blessing of Yahweh, take possession of the sea and the south. Of Asher he said, More blessed than sons is Asher. May he be favored by his brothers, and may he dip his foot in oil. Your locks will be iron and bronze, and according to your days, so your fortitude will be. There is none like the God of Jeshurun, who rides the heavens to your help, and through the skies in his majesty. The eternal God is a dwelling place, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And he drove out the enemy from before you, and said, Destroy. So Israel dwells in security, the fountain of Jacob secluded, in a land of grain and new wine. His heavens also drop down dew. Blessed are you, O Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by Yahweh, who is the shield of your help and the sword of your majesty. So your enemies will cower before you, and you will tread upon their high places. And that was chapter 33 of Deuteronomy. And I will be continuing into Joshua once we're finished as well. Then Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And Yahweh showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, and the Negev and the plain and the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. Then Yahweh said to him, This is the land which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, I will give it to your seed. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you shall not go over there. So Moses, the servant of Yahweh, died there in the land of Moab, according to the command of Yahweh. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, but no man knows his burial place to this day. Now Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his vigor abated. So the sons of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. Then the days of weeping and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua the son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him, and the sons of Israel listened to him and did as Yahweh had commanded Moses. And there has not yet arisen a prophet in Israel like Moses, whom Yahweh knew face to face, in regard to all the signs and wonders which Yahweh sent him to do in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh, all his servants and all his land, and in regard to all the mighty power, and in regard to all the great terror which Moses did in the sight of all Israel. And that was chapter 34 and the final chapter of Deuteronomy. Welcome to those joining us. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to take a drink and then we will start reading Joshua. Give me just a second or two here. I'm going to drop some comments down in the streams. Okay, just a sec. All right. And now I'm going to drink some more of my coffee and then we will carry on. How is everybody doing tonight? Are you happy it's the weekend? Thank God it's Friday and all? Or do you guys work on the weekends? Okay. Joshua chapter 1. Now it came about after the death of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, that Yahweh spoke to Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' attendant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead, so now arise, cross this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, to the sons of Israel. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads, I have given it to you, just as I spoke to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and as far as the great sea toward the setting of the sun will be your territory. No man will be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I have been with Moses, I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous to be careful to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn aside from it to the right or to the left, so that you may be prosperous wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way successful, and then you will be prosperous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be in dread or be dismayed, for Yahweh your God is with you wherever you go. such a great verse, right? I'm going to clip that one to make a video out of later. Yes, the weekend is good, Scott. Although, I guess it's kind of the same for me, except for we do have church on Sunday, which is wonderful. I'm so glad to have a church again. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, "Pass through the midst of the camp and command the people, saying, Prepare provisions for yourselves, for within 3 days you are to cross this Jordan to go in to possess the land which Yahweh your God has given you to possess it. To the Reubenites and to the Gadites and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joshua said, Remember the word which Moses, the servant of Yahweh, commanded you, saying, Yahweh your God gives you rest and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan, but you shall cross before your brothers in battle array, all your valiant warriors, and shall help them until Yahweh gives your brothers rest as he gives you, and they also possess the land which Yahweh your God is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession and possess it, which Moses, the servant of Yahweh, gave you beyond the Jordan to the east toward the sunrise." And they answered Joshua, saying, "All that you have commanded us we will do, and wherever you send us we will go. Just as we listened to Moses in all things, we will listen to you. Only may Yahweh your God be with you as he has with Moses. Anyone who rebels against your command and does not listen to your words in all that you command him shall be put to death. Only be strong and courageous." And that was Joshua chapter 1. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. I hope you are well. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd also like to get to know you. So if you wouldn't mind jumping down in the comments and saying hello. Also in the pinned comment is the link to Discord if you would like to join the God Squad over there. We're building quite a little community. Oh, hey, Nellie, it's been a while. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink. And then we will read Joshua chapter 2. Then Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men as spies secretly from Shittim, saying, "Go see the land, especially Jericho." So they went and came into the house of a harlot, whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told to the king of Jericho, saying, "Behold, men from the sons of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land." And the king of Jericho sent word to Rahab, saying, "Bring out the men who have come to you, who have entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land." But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, "Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. Now it happened when it was time to shut the gate at dark that the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you may overtake them." But she had brought them up to the roof and concealed them in the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order on the roof. So the men pursued them on the road to the Jordan, to the fords, and as soon as those who were pursuing them had gone out, they shut the gate. Now before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to the men, "I know that Yahweh has given you the land, and that the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before you. For we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you devoted to destruction." Excuse me. "Indeed, we heard it, and our hearts melted, and a courageous spirit no longer rose up in any man because of you. For Yahweh your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. So now, please swear to me by Yahweh, since I have shown loving kindness to you, that you also will show loving kindness to my father's household, and give me a pledge of truth and preserve my father and my mother and my brothers and my sisters alive, with all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death. So the men said to her, Our life for yours, if you do not tell this business of ours. And it will be when Yahweh gives us the land that we will show loving kindness and truth to you. Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall, so that she was living on the wall. And she said to them, Go to the hill country, lest the pursuers reach you, and hide yourselves there for 3 days until the pursuers return. Then afterward you may go on your way. And the men said to her, We shall be free from this oath to you, which you have made us swear, unless, when we come into the land, you tie this cord of scarlet thread in the window through which you let us down, and gather to yourself into the house your father and your mother and your brothers and all your father's household. And it will be that anyone who goes out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be on his own head, and we shall be free. But anyone who is with you in the house, his blood shall be on our head if a hand is laid on him. But if you tell this business of ours, then we shall be free from the oath which you have made us swear. And she said, According to your words, so be it. So she sent them away, and they went, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. And they went and came to the hill country and remained there for 3 days until the pursuers returned. The pursuers had sought them all along the road, but had not found them. Then the 2 men returned and came down from the hill country and crossed over and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and they recounted to him all that had happened to them. And they said to Joshua, Surely Yahweh has given all the land into our hands. Moreover, all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before us. And that was Joshua chapter 2. Okay. Checking through the comments. I love that you guys talk to each other and pray for one another. It's wonderful. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Oh wow, you don't have the shield next to your name. I don't know. I haven't. I'll have to ask Avery how to get into that again. I don't know how to change who has moderator and who doesn't. I've only ever done it once, and that's been months ago, maybe even a year. So once I have a chance, I will ask him to help me, and I'll get in there and take care of that. Oh, you wouldn't stand a chance. You might try to throw yours, but you just end up catching mine. Okay. Joshua chapter 3. Such a good chapter, such a good book in the Bible, right? Then Joshua, goodness. Then Joshua rose early in the morning, and he and all the sons of Israel set out from Shittim and came to the Jordan, and they lodged there before they crossed. My brain is just trying to move too fast, I think. Now it happened that at the end of 3 days, the officers went through the midst of the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your God with the Levitical priests carrying it, then you shall set out from your place and go after it. However, there shall be between you and it a distance of about 2,000 cubits by measure. Do not come near it, that you may know the way by which you shall go, for you have not passed this way before. Then Joshua said to the people, Set yourselves apart as holy, for tomorrow Yahweh will do wondrous deeds among you. And Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, Carry the ark of the covenant and cross over ahead of the people. So they carried the ark of the covenant and went ahead of the people. Then Yahweh said to Joshua, This day I will begin to magnify you in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that just as I have been with Moses, I will be with you. Moreover, you shall command the priests who are carrying the ark of the covenant, saying, When you come to the edge of the waters of the Jordan, you shall stand still in the Jordan. Then Joshua said to the sons of Israel, Come near and hear the words of Yahweh your God. And Joshua said, By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will assuredly dispossess from before you the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Hivite, the Perizzite, the Girgashite, the Amorite, and the Jebusite. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth is crossing over ahead of you into the Jordan. So now, take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man for each tribe. And it will be that when the soles of the feet of the priests who carry the ark of Yahweh, the Lord of all the earth, rest in the waters of the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan will be cut off, and the waters which are flowing down from above will stand in one heap. So it happened that when the people set out from their tents to cross the Jordan with the priests carrying the ark of the covenant before the people, and when those who carried the ark came into the Jordan, and the feet of the priests carrying the ark were dipped in the edge of the water for the Jordan overflows all its banks all the days of harvest, the waters which were flowing down from above stood and rose up in one heap, a great distance away at Adam, the city that is beside Zarethan, and those which were flowing down toward the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, were completely cut off. So the people crossed opposite Jericho, and the priests who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh stood firm on dry ground in the middle of the Jordan, while all Israel crossed on dry ground until all the nation had completed crossing the Jordan. And that was Joshua chapter 3. I suck at fighting too, so no worries. Although I can if I have to, but I don't. Hang on just a second. Gonna take some ibuprofen and Tylenol real quick. Yeah, I don't have the energy for all of that. How's it been going though? I've been reading all of your daily posts and everything. Did Katrina fall asleep? Or did she leave and I didn't see her say she was going? Welcome to those just joining us over in the vertical stream. God bless you. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm just going to take one last drink here, and then we will read Joshua chapter 4. Oops, I hit something on my, I hit back or something. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, finished up my Pepsi, still have my coffee. God is good. Can I get an amen? Joshua chapter 4. Now it happened when all the nation had completed crossing the Jordan that Yahweh spoke to Joshua, saying, Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, one man from each tribe, and command them, saying, Carry for yourselves 12 stones from here out of the middle of the Jordan, from the place where the priest's feet are standing firm, and carry them over with you, and lay them down in the lodging place where you will lodge tonight. So Joshua called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the sons of Israel, one man from each tribe, and Joshua said to them, Cross again before the ark of Yahweh, your God, into the middle of the Jordan, and each of you carry a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Israel, in order that this would be a sign among you, so that when your children ask later, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you will say to them, Because the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, when it crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. So these stones shall become a memorial to the sons of Israel forever. Thus the sons of Israel did as Joshua commanded, and carried 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, just as Yahweh spoke to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Israel, and they carried them over with them to the lodging place and laid them down there. But Joshua set up 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan, at the place where the feet of the priests who carried the ark of the covenant were standing, and they are there to this day. Now the priests who carried the ark were standing in the middle of the Jordan until everything was completed that Yahweh had commanded Joshua to speak to the people, according to all that Moses had commanded Joshua. And the people hurried and crossed. And it happened when all the people had completed crossing that the ark of Yahweh and the priests crossed before the people. And the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh crossed over in battle array before the sons of Israel, just as Moses had spoken to them. About 40,000 equipped for war crossed for battle before Yahweh to the desert plains of Jericho. On that day Yahweh magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, so that they feared him, just as they had feared Moses all the days of his life. Then Yahweh said to Joshua, Command the priests who carry the ark of the testimony that they come up from the Jordan. So Joshua commanded the priests, saying, Come up from the Jordan. So it happened when the priests who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh had come up from the middle of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet were lifted up to the dry ground, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and went over all its banks as before. Now the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th of the first month and camped at Gilgal on the eastern edge of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they had taken from the Jordan, Joshua set up at Gilgal. Then he said to the sons of Israel, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean? Then you shall make your children know, saying, Israel crossed this Jordan on dry land. For Yahweh your God dried up the waters of the Jordan before you until you had crossed, just as Yahweh your God had done to the Red Sea, which he dried up before us until we had crossed, that all the peoples of the earth may know that the hand of Yahweh is strong, so that you may fear Yahweh your God forever. And that was Joshua chapter 4. Yeah, I'm not one for arguing either. Sometimes it's necessary, but I do try to avoid it. I don't care much for confrontation. I was plenty confrontational as a young teen and young adult. Enough to fill the rest of my life with none. Okay. Give me just a second. To send a message. There we go. Okay, Joshua chapter 5. We're making good time tonight, huh? Now it happened when all the kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan to the west, and all the kings of the Canaanites who were by the sea, heard how Yahweh had dried up the waters of the Jordan before the sons of Israel until they had crossed, that their hearts melted, and there was no spirit in them any longer because of the sons of Israel. At that time Yahweh said to Joshua, "Make for yourself flint knives and circumcise again the sons of Israel the second time." So Joshua made himself flint knives and circumcised the sons of Israel at Gibeath Haaraloth. Gibeath Haaraloth. There. Sort of. Now this is the reason why Joshua circumcised them. All the people who came out of Egypt, who were males, all the men of war, died in the wilderness along the way when they came out of Egypt. For all the people who came out were circumcised, but all the people who were born in the wilderness along the way as they came out of Egypt had not been circumcised. For the sons of Israel had walked 40 years in the wilderness until all the nation, that is, the men of war who came out of Egypt, were completely destroyed because they did not listen to the voice of Yahweh, to whom Yahweh had sworn that he would not let them see the land which Yahweh had sworn to their fathers to give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. And their sons whom he raised up in their place, Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised because they had not circumcised them along the way. Now it happened that when they had completed circumcising all the nation, they remained in their places in the camp until they were healed. Then Yahweh said to Joshua, "Today I have rolled away the reproach of Egypt from you." So the name of that place is called Gilgal to this day. Then the sons of Israel camped at Gilgal and celebrated the Passover on the evening of the 14th day of the month on the desert plains of Jericho. And on the day after the Passover, on that very day, they ate some of the yield of the land, unleavened cakes and roasted grain. Then the manna ceased on the day after they had eaten some of the produce of the land, so that the sons of Israel no longer had manna, but they ate some of the produce of the land of Canaan during that year. Now it happened when Joshua was by Jericho that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man was standing opposite him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, "Are you for us or for our adversaries?" He said, "No, rather I indeed come now as commander of the host of Yahweh." And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and bowed down and said to him, "What has my Lord to say to his slave?" The commander of the host of Yahweh said to Joshua, "Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy." And Joshua did so. And that was Joshua chapter 5. For sure. Yeah, Maranatha. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. I figured more people would start coming after 10 o'clock, my time anyway. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Now Jericho was tightly shut because of the sons of Israel. No one went out and no one came in. And Yahweh said to Joshua, "See, I have given Jericho into your hand with its king and the valiant warriors. And you shall march around the city, all the men of war circling the city once. You shall do so for 6 days. Also 7 priests shall carry 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. Then on the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. And it will be that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city will fall down beneath itself, and the people will go up every man straight ahead." So Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said to them, "Carry the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests carry 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of Yahweh." Then he said to the people, "Go forward and march around the city, and let the armed men go on before the ark of Yahweh." And so it happened that when Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before Yahweh passed on forward and blew the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of Yahweh came after them. And the armed men went before the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard came after the ark, while they continued to blow the trumpets. But Joshua commanded the people, saying, "You shall not shout, nor let your voice be heard, nor let a word proceed out of your mouth until the day I tell you, shout. Then you shall shout." So he had the ark of Yahweh taken around the city, circling it once. Then they came into the camp and spent the night in the camp. Then Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests carried the ark of Yahweh. And the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of Yahweh went on continually and blew the trumpets. And the armed men went before them, and the rear guard came after the ark of Yahweh, and they continued to blow the trumpets. Thus the second day they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. They did so for 6 days. Then it happened that on the 7th day they rose early at the breaking of dawn and marched around the city in the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they marched around the city 7 times. Now it happened that on the 7th time the priests blew the trumpets, and Joshua said to the people, "Shout, for Yahweh has given you the city, and the city shall be devoted to destruction. It and all that is in it belongs to Yahweh. Only Rahab the harlot and all who are with her in the house shall live, because she hid the messengers whom we sent. But as for you, only keep yourselves from the things devoted to destruction, lest as you are devoting them to destruction, you also take some of the things devoted to destruction and make the camp of Israel devoted to destruction and bring trouble on it. But all the silver and gold and articles of bronze and iron are holy to Yahweh. They shall go into the treasury of Yahweh." So the people shouted, and the priests blew the trumpets. And when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, the people shouted with a great shout, and the wall fell down beneath itself, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight ahead, and they took the city. And they devoted to destruction everything in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and donkey, with the edge of the sword. So to the 2 men who had spied out the land, Joshua said, "Go into the harlot's house and bring the woman and all she has out of there, as you have sworn to her." So the young men who were spies went in and brought out Rahab and her father and her mother and her brothers and all she had. They also brought out all her relatives and placed them outside the camp of Israel. But they burned the city with fire and all that was in it. Only the silver and gold and articles of bronze and iron they put into the treasury of the house of Yahweh. And her father's household and all she had Joshua preserved alive, and she has lived in the midst of Israel to this day, for she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. Then Joshua made them swear an oath at that time, saying, "Cursed before Yahweh is the man who rises up and builds this city Jericho. With the loss of his firstborn he shall lay its foundation, and with the loss of his youngest son he shall set up its gates." So Yahweh was with Joshua, and the report about him was in all the land. And that was Joshua chapter 6. I'm going to read back through the comments. Oh yeah, I totally get that, Carla. Yeah, lots of past trauma for me too. I kind of clam up. You want a Bible as close to the original as possible. I've heard the Ethiopian Bible, but you know, it would not be in English. Yeah, 7 years sober, Scott. Praise God. Good job. How is hair dye creepy?
Hello, Mommy.
Hi, Shiloh. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello.
We have Scott,
Hi, Scott.
Nellie.
Hi, Nelly.
We have Carla.
Hi, Carla.
We have, I'm not sure who else is here right now. More people are being quiet. Katrina was here. I'm not sure if she fell asleep or left. And Adam is usually here, but I don't think he has joined us tonight. At any rate. What are you up to?
Oh, just trying to make a video, but right when I ended the video of the song, it just died.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's frustrating. Oh, look. Your dad's over there in the vertical stream. You want to say hi?
Hi, Daddy.
He probably can't hear you. Come closer to the mic.
Hi, Daddy.
We'll see what he says. We are in Joshua chapter 7. Do you think you could run and grab me a Pepsi from the fridge?
Okay.
Oh, your dad said hi back.
Hi, Daddy. I love you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, go grab the Pepsi and then I'll let you know what he says when he comes in. Or when you come back in.
I miss you.
He says he misses you. He'll be here in the morning, baby.
Okay.
Hi, Riri. Oh. Oh, Riri. Good kitten. You want to go and lay on the pillow? Or look out the window? There you go. Boop. Okay. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask.
Mommy.
All right. Your dad said he loves you too, and he will see you tomorrow.
Yay.
Oh no, what got on the Pepsi?
Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
That looks like gravy. I wonder if somebody spilled some gravy. No, you aren't going to be scratching my chair, Gary.
I could have tea.
Okay, well, here you go. Can you tell everybody what we call Riri?
Okay.
He's just leaving. Okay. This is going to be loud for a second. All right. Is everybody glad it's the weekend? How are you guys doing? If you aren't over on the Discord with us already, the link is in the pinned comment on both live streams here, and it's also in my channel description. And I'm going to read Joshua chapter 7. But the sons of Israel acted unfaithfully in regard to the things devoted to destruction. Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah, took some of the devoted things. Therefore the anger of Yahweh burned against the sons of Israel. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai. I've heard this pronounced Ai. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's pronounced I. Which is near Beth-aben, east of Bethel, and said to them, "Go up and spy out the land." So the men went up and spied out Ai. You should consider hushing. Yes, I agree. Good for you for knowing that ahead of time. I drink a lot of water now, and I'm drinking coffee too. I just have to get the coffee taste out of my mouth because it got cold and it tastes a little weird. Besides, no. I love Pepsi and I will not give it up. Okay. So the men went up and spied out Ai. Then they returned to Joshua and said to him, "Do not have all the people go up. Only about 2,000 or 3,000 men need to go up to strike down Ai. Do not have all the people toil up there, for they are few." So about 3,000 men from the people went up there, but they fled from the men of Ai. And the men of Ai struck down about 36 of their men and pursued them from the gate as far as Shebarim, and struck them down on the descent. So the hearts of the people melted and became as water. Then Joshua tore his clothes and fell to the earth on his face before the ark of Yahweh until the evening, both he and the elders of Israel, and they put dust on their heads. Joshua said, "Alas, O Lord Yahweh, why did you ever bring this people over the Jordan, only to give us into the hand of the Amorites to make us perish? If only we had been willing to live beyond the Jordan. O Lord, what can I say, since Israel has turned their back before their enemies? And the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land will hear of it, and they will surround us and cut off our name from the earth. And what will you do for your great name?" So Yahweh said to Joshua, "Rise up. Why is it that you have fallen on your face? Israel has sinned, and they have also trespassed against my covenant, which I commanded them. And they have even taken some of the things devoted to destruction, and have both stolen and dealt falsely. Moreover, they have also put them among their own things. Therefore the sons of Israel cannot rise before their enemies. They turn their backs before their enemies, for they have become devoted to destruction. I will not be with you any more unless you destroy the things devoted to destruction from your midst. Rise up, set the people apart as holy, and say, Set yourselves apart as holy for tomorrow, for thus Yahweh, the God of Israel, has said, There are things devoted to destruction in your midst, O Israel. You cannot rise before your enemies until you have removed the things devoted to destruction from your midst." What's that? Oh, yes. I will help you get into your superhero suit.
Spider-Man.
Is it Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I thought it was Iron Man. Is this, let me look. Oh, it is Spider-Man. Okay.
My new name is actually Spider-Man.
In the morning, then you shall come near by your tribes, and it will be that the tribe which Yahweh takes by lot shall come near by families, and the family which Yahweh takes shall come near by households, and the household which Yahweh takes shall come near man by man. And it will be that the one who is taken with the things devoted to destruction shall be burned with fire, he and all that belongs to him, because he has trespassed against the covenant of Yahweh, and because he has committed a disgraceful thing in Israel. Oh, you're back, Jer. Welcome back. So Joshua arose early in the morning and brought Israel near by tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah near, and he took the family of the Zerahites, and he brought the family of the Zerahites near, man by man, and Zabdi was taken. And he brought his household near man by man, and Achan, son of Carmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah, was taken. Then Joshua said to Achan, My son, I implore you, give glory to Yahweh, the God of Israel, and give praise to him, and declare to me now what you have done. Do not hide it from me. So Achan answered Joshua and said, Truly I have sinned against Yahweh, the God of Israel, and this is what I did. I saw among the spoil a beautiful mantle from Shinar, and 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold, 50 shekels in weight. Then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are concealed in the earth inside my tent with the silver underneath it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and behold, it was concealed in his tent with the silver underneath it. And they took them from inside the tent and brought them to Joshua and to all the sons of Israel, and they poured them out before Yahweh. Then Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, the silver, the mantle, the bar of gold, his sons, his daughters, his oxen, his donkeys, his sheep, his tent and all that belonged to him, and they brought them up to the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, "Why have you troubled us? Yahweh will trouble you this day." And all Israel stoned him with stones, and they burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones. Then they raised over him a great heap of stones that stands to this day. And Yahweh turned from his burning anger. Therefore the name of that place has been called the Valley of Achor to this day. And that was chapter 7 of Joshua. Oh no, Nellie's not new. She's been here a long time. Welcome to those just coming in. Several have joined. God bless you. If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to take a drink and then I will continue reading into Joshua 8. Oh, hello, Queenie Face. You're going to come back up on your pillow? Oh, you're so beautiful. All right. Now Yahweh said to Joshua, "Do not fear or be dismayed. Take all the people of war with you and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into your hand the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. So you shall do to Ai and its king just as you did to Jericho and its king. You shall take only its spoil and its cattle as plunder for yourselves. Set an ambush for the city behind it." So Joshua rose with all the people of war to go up to Ai. And Joshua chose 30,000 men, valiant warriors, and sent them out at night. And he commanded them, saying, "See, you are going to ambush the city from behind it. Do not go very far from the city, but all of you be ready. Then I and all the people who are with me will come near the city. And it will be that when they come out to meet us as at the first, we will flee before them. And they will come out after us until we have drawn them away from the city, for they will say, 'They are fleeing before us as at the first.' So we will flee before them. And you shall rise from your ambush and take possession of the city, for Yahweh your God will give it into your hand. Then it will be that when you have seized the city, that you shall set the city on fire. You shall do it according to the word of Yahweh. See, I have commanded you." So Joshua sent them away, and they went to the place of ambush and remained between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua spent that night among the people. Now Joshua rose early in the morning and mustered the people, and he went up with the elders of Israel before the people to Ai. Then all the people of war who were with him went up and drew near and arrived in front of the city and camped on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between him and Ai, and he took about 5,000 men and set them in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. So they set the people, all the army that was on the north side of the city, and its rear guard on the west side of the city. And Joshua sent that night into the midst of the valley. Went that night into the midst of the valley. Excuse me. Now it happened that when the king of Ai saw it, the men of the city hurried and rose up early and went out to meet Israel in battle, he and all his people at the appointed place before the desert plain. But he did not know that there was an ambush against him behind the city. And Joshua and all Israel pretended to be beaten before them and fled by the way of the wilderness. And all the people who were in the city were called together to pursue them. And they pursued Joshua and were drawn away from the city. So not a man remained in Ai or Bethel who had not gone out after Israel, and they forsook the city, leaving it open, and pursued Israel. Then Yahweh said to Joshua, "Stretch out the javelin that is in your hand toward Ai, for I will give it into your hand." So Joshua stretched out the javelin that was in his hand toward the city. Then the men in ambush rose quickly from their place, and when he had stretched out his hand, they ran and entered the city and captured it, and they quickly set the city on fire. Then the men of Ai turned back and looked, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended to the sky, and they had no place to flee this way or that, for the people who had been fleeing to the wilderness, turned against the pursuers. But Joshua and all Israel saw that the men in ambush had captured the city and that the smoke of the city ascended. So they turned back and struck down the men of Ai. And the others came out from the city to meet them, so that they were trapped in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side, and they struck them down until there were no more remaining for him who survived or escaped. But they seized the king of Ai alive and brought him to Joshua. Now it happened that when Israel had finished killing all the inhabitants of Ai in the field in the wilderness where they pursued them, and all of them fell by the edge of the sword until they were completely destroyed, then all Israel turned back to Ai and struck it with the edge of the sword. So all who fell that day, both men and women, were 12,000, all the people of Ai. For Joshua did not withdraw his hand with which he stretched out the javelin until he had devoted to destruction all the inhabitants of Ai. Israel took only the cattle and the spoil of that city as plunder for themselves, according to the word of Yahweh which he had commanded Joshua. So Joshua burned Ai and made it a heap forever, a desolation until this day. And he hanged the king of Ai on a tree until evening, and at sunset Joshua gave a command, and they took his body down from the tree and threw it at the entrance of the city gate, and raised over it a great heap of stones that stands to this day. Then Joshua built an altar to Yahweh, the God of Israel, on Mount Ebal, just as Moses, the servant of Yahweh, had commanded the sons of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of uncut stones on which no man had wielded an iron tool, and they offered burnt offerings on it to Yahweh and sacrificed peace offerings. And he wrote there on the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he had written, in the presence of the sons of Israel. And all Israel with their elders and officers and their judges were standing on both sides of the ark before the Levitical priests who carried the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, the sojourner as well as the native. Half of them stood in front of Mount Gerizim, and half of them in front of Mount Ebal, just as Moses, the servant of Yahweh, had given a command at first to bless the people of Israel. Then afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessing and the curse, according to all that is written in the book of the law. There was not a word of all that Moses had commanded which Joshua did not read before all the assembly of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the sojourners who were going among them. And that was Joshua chapter 8. Hey, Rebel. How are you doing tonight? I'm glad you made it. Yes. Yes, I am keeping them all. They are our family, aren't you kidding? Ohana and all of that. How could they leave me behind? They shan't and they won't. Come on, baby cakes. Oh, I just love you so much. Queenie face. Most beautiful of all. Okay. I'm going to take one more drink here. Actually, I'm going to finish my coffee. Amen, Carla. Oh, you're just wanting some extra love tonight? Oh my goodness, Rebel. That is hot. Feeling hot, 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 hot. Yeah, huh, kitten? Are the boys hollering out there? You hear them? Can you even believe? Rambunctious as all get out, huh? Oh, baby. Okay, is that right? You want to lay on your pillow? Or do you want to go to mommy's bed? Huh? Okay. Oops. Are you going to chase the cursor? Here. I'll move my phone over here. And you can come up here and chase the cursor around. Go ahead. Come on. Right up here. Yeah. Joshua chapter 9. Oops. I finally found that rose that you printed. And she's already trying to knock it off the desk again. But it was on accident. It was by her tail. Okay. Joshua chapter 9. Oh, you're headed to bed, Carla? Sleep tight and dream sweet. I'm glad you came by. God bless you. Wheezy, no scratching the chair. All right. Now it happened when all the kings who were beyond the Jordan, in the hill country and in the Shephelah, and on all the coast of the great sea, toward Lebanon, the Hittite and the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, heard of it, that they gathered themselves together with one accord to fight with Joshua and with Israel. Now the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai. So they also acted craftily and went and traveled as envoys and took worn-out sacks on their donkeys and wineskins worn out and torn and mended, and worn out and patched sandals on their feet and worn out clothes on themselves. And all the bread of their provision was dry and was crumbled. And they went to Joshua to the camp at Gilgal and said to him and to the men of Israel, "We have come from a far country, so now cut a covenant with us." And they were dumb and didn't talk to God about it first. Then the men of Israel said to the Hivites, "Perhaps you are living within our land. How then shall we cut a covenant with you?" But they said to Joshua, "We are your servants." Then Joshua said to them, "Who are you and where do you come from?" They said to him, "Your servants have come from a very far country because of the fame of Yahweh your God. For we have heard the report of him and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon king of Heshbon, and to Og king of Bashan, who was at Ashtaroth. So our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, Take provisions in your hand for the journey, and go to meet them, and say to them, We are your servants. Now then cut a covenant with us. This bread of ours was warm when we took it for our provisions out of our houses on the day that we left to come to you. But now, behold, it is dry and has become crumbled. And these wineskins, which we filled, were new, and behold, they are torn. And these clothes of ours and our sandals are worn out because of the very long journey. You give too many details. Right then, I'm like, that sounds planned out. So the men of Israel took some of their provisions, but they did not ask for the command of Yahweh. And Joshua made peace with them and cut a covenant with them. Got a little too big for his britches there for a second. To let them live, and the leaders of the congregation swore an oath to them. Now it happened at the end of 3 days after they had cut a covenant with them, that they heard that they were near them, and that they were living nearly among them. Then the sons of Israel set out and came to their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon and Chephirah, I believe, Chephirah, and Beeroth and Kiriath-jearim. But the sons of Israel did not strike them down, because the leaders of the congregation had sworn to them by Yahweh, the God of Israel. And the whole congregation grumbled against the leaders. Then all the leaders said to the whole congregation, We have sworn to them by Yahweh, the God of Israel, so now we cannot touch them. This we will do to them, even let them live, so that wrath will not be upon us for the oath which we swore to them. So the leaders said to them, Let them live. Thus they became hewers of wood and drawers of water. That's so hard to say. Drawers of water for the whole... We don't scratch my chair, my darling. You're... Okay, come here. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's after 11. She starts herding me to bed at 11:15, so she's having a fuss. Thus they became hewers of wood and drawers of water for the whole congregation, just as the leaders had spoken to them. Then Joshua called for them and spoke to them, saying, Why have you deceived us, saying, We are very far from you, when you are living nearly in the midst of us? So now you are cursed, and you shall never be cut loose from being slaves, both hewers of wood and drawers of water, for the house of my God. So they answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told to your slaves that Yahweh your God had commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land before you. Therefore we feared greatly for our lives because of you, and have done this thing. So now, behold, we are in your hands. Do as it seems good and right in your sight to do to us. Thus he did to them, and delivered them from the hands of the sons of Israel, and they did not kill them. But Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of Yahweh to this day in the place which he would choose. And that was Joshua chapter 9. Okay. I need to see if Kenneth would come and refresh my coffee. Let's see if we can message them on Discord. Okay. Give me just a minute. My son just is yelling his head off, so I'm going to go see what's going on. What is happening? Okay. 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 Well, let's just chill out. And be nice to one another. Okay? I guess I won't ask you for a fresh cup of coffee. Where's Avery? Steven? Can you come and take my cup and ask Avery to get me some coffee, please? Okay.
Lofi's in here.
Sibling spats. Here you go.
Lofi is in here.
Oh, okay. As long as you behave, that's fine. It's just me and Daniel now, anyway. All right. Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm getting ready to read Joshua chapter 10, which I wasn't originally going to do, but I am going to anyway now. Okay. I'm going to actually edit the description real quick. Hi, Lofi. How are you? So we'll go at least to 14. Chapter 14, maybe further, depending. Okay. Joshua chapter 10. Now it happened that when Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, heard that Joshua had captured Ai and had devoted it to destruction, just as he had done to Jericho and its king, so he had done to Ai and its king, and that the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were within their land, they feared exceedingly, because Gibeon was a great city, like one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all its men were mighty. Therefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent word to Hoham, king of Hebron, goodness, I cannot talk all of a sudden, and to Piram, king of Jarmuth, and to Japhia, king of Lachish, and to Debir, king of Eglon, saying, Come up to me and help me, and let us strike Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and with the sons of Israel. So the 5 kings of the Ammonites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon, gathered together and went up, they with all their armies, and camped by Gibeon and fought against it. Then the men of Gibeon sent word to Joshua to the camp at Gilgal, saying, do not abandon your slaves. Come up to us quickly and save us and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites that live in the hill country have assembled against us. So Joshua went up from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the valiant warriors. And Yahweh said to Joshua, do not fear them, for I have given them into your hands. Not one of them shall stand before you. So Joshua came upon them suddenly. He had gone up marching all night from Gilgal, and Yahweh threw them into confusion before Israel, struck them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and pursued them by the way of the ascent of Beth Horon, and struck them as far as Azekah. Maybe? Are you interested? You like listening? Are you the one that responds to Yahweh? They each respond to a different name of God. Well, not all of them a different one, but they all respond to it. And some of them it's a different one. Now it happened as they fled from before Israel, while they were at the descent of Beth-horon, that Yahweh threw down large stones. Yep, you like Yahweh, huh? You know who Yahweh is? Oh, good girl. From heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died from the hailstones than those. She's really listening. Excuse me. I'm going to put the phone over here. Okay, Scott. I hope you get some rest. Love you. Okay, Yahweh threw down large stones from heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died from the hailstones than those whom the sons of Israel killed with the sword. Do you believe what is happening? What is in there? Nothing?
And I forgot to mix it, so it's not showing, but there is the cookie coffee creamer.
Oh, please, no. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is there anything that was in the cup before that I can't have? Because if not,
No, you could enjoy it.
I'm just gonna drink this and give you my coffee. Because
What's in
I like
yours?
I like the cookie creamer. Or I don't mind coffee either way, and I need energy to do dishes.
Okay, what's in yours?
There's nothing in mine yet. It was just one.
Okay, yeah, please put vanilla and a little bit of hazelnut, and then just a drizzle of the syrup that's cinnamon and brown sugar.
Okay.
Thank you. They spoil me. Okay. Then Joshua spoke to Yahweh in the day when Yahweh gave over the Amorites before the sons of Israel, and he said in the sight of Israel, O sun, stand still at Gibeon, and O moon in the valley of... Really? Are you looking at... Wow, I wish my phone wasn't on the live too, because I would video her. She's staring at the ceiling. At first I thought she was staring at the computer, but no. O sun, stand still at Gibeon, and O moon in the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the nation avenged themselves of their armies. I can't even talk. Enemies. Is it not written in the book of Jasher? And the sun stood in the middle of the sky, and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, when Yahweh listened to the voice of a man, for Yahweh fought for Israel. Then Joshua and all Israel with him returned to the camp at Gilgal. And these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in the cave at Makkedah. Then it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings have been found hidden in the cave at Makkedah. And Joshua said, roll large stones against the mouth of the cave, and assign men by it to keep watch over them. But as for you, do not stand there. Pursue your enemies and attack them in the rear. Do not allow them to enter their cities, for Yahweh your God has given them into your hand. Now it happened when Joshua and the sons of Israel had finished striking them with a very great slaughter until they were completely destroyed, and the survivors, those of them who survived, had entered the fortified cities, that all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. No one so much as lifted his tongue against any of the sons of Israel. Then Joshua said, "Open the mouth of the cave and bring these 5 kings out to me from the cave." And they did so, and brought these 5 kings out to him from the cave: the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. Now it happened that when they brought these kings out to Joshua, Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said to the chiefs of the men of war who had gone with him, "Come near, put your feet on the necks of these kings." So they came near and put their feet on their necks. Joshua then said to them, "Do not fear or be dismayed. Be strong and courageous, for thus Yahweh will do to all your enemies with whom you fight." So afterward Joshua struck them and put them to death, and he hanged them on 5 trees, and they hung on the trees until evening. Now it happened that at sunset Joshua gave a command, and they took them down from the trees and threw them down into the cave where they had hidden themselves, and they put large stones over the mouth of the cave to this very day. Now Joshua captured Makkedah on that day and struck it and its king with the edge of the sword. He devoted it to destruction and every person who was in it. He left no survivor. Thus he did to the king of Makkedah just as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then Joshua and all Israel with him passed on from Makkedah to Libnah and fought against Libnah. And Yahweh gave it also with its king into the hands of Israel, and he struck it and every person who was in it with the edge of the sword. He left no survivor remaining in it. Thus he did to its king just as he had done to the king of Jericho. And Joshua and all Israel with him passed on from Libnah to Lachish, and they camped by it and fought against it. And Yahweh gave Lachish into the hands of Israel, and he captured it on the 2nd day, and struck it and every person who was in it with the edge of the sword, according to all that he had done to Libnah. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up, getting this in front of the screen, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua struck him and his people down until there was no survivor remaining for him. And Joshua and all Israel with him passed on from Lachish to Eglon, and they camped by it and fought against it. And they captured it on that day and struck it with the edge of the sword, and every person who was in it he devoted to destruction on that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. Then Joshua and all Israel with him went up from Eglon to Hebron, and they fought against it, and they captured it and struck it and its king and all its cities and all the persons who were in it with the edge of the sword. Hi, baby. He left no survivor remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, and he devoted it and every person who was in it to destruction. Then Joshua and all Israel with him returned to Debir, and they fought against it. I have to refresh my one stream real quick. Give me just a second. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was just quiet and not frozen. Then Joshua and all Israel with him returned to Beer, and they fought against it, and he captured it and its king and all its cities, and they struck them with the edge of the sword and devoted every person who was in it to destruction. He left no survivor remaining, just as he had done to Hebron. So he did to Debir and its king, as he had also done to Libnah and its king. Thus Joshua struck all the land, the hill country and the Negev, and the Shephelah and the slopes, as well as all their kings. He left no survivor remaining, but he devoted to destruction all who breathed, just as Yahweh, the God of Israel, had commanded. And Joshua struck them from Kadesh Barnea, even as far as Gaza, and all the country of Goshen, even as far as Gibeon. And Joshua captured all these kings and their lands at one time, because Yahweh, the God of Israel, fought for Israel. So Joshua and all Israel with him returned to the camp at Gilgal. And that was Joshua chapter 10. Hi.
I don't think we have any black vanilla left.
What? Creamer?
Yeah.
The big blue jug in the fridge?
Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere.
Okay, so just use hazelnut and the other thing then, please.
Look at this Spud kid. Spud is so squishy.
He's wonderful.
He's wonderful, but I'm taking him. Kidnapping
Okay.
cats is allowed.
Welcome to those just coming in. God bless you. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Give me just a moment. Okay. All right, Joshua chapter 11. Come here, sweet baby. Our good kitten. They can probably hear you purring. You're very close to the mic. Oh, you're going to stretch over here. Pumpkin Loaf is the type where it's like she wants to run away, can't be bothered, doesn't have time, and then when she wants the love, she's just the sweetest thing ever. No, we're not going to chew on the cord. Joshua chapter 11. Now it happened.
Nanny,
Yes?
I made you some
Oh, be careful.
coffee.
That's, well, thank you. Hang on.
Welcome.
Thank you. Love you. Oh, goodness. Good thing I have a Pepsi chaser. Hi. Lovey. Do you want to go up there? Oh, you just want to love? Come here. I love you. Okay, all right. No, you just want to be a goose. No, you aren't going to scratch my chair, Miss Ma'am. Okay. I'm going to drop some hashtags down in the vertical stream. And onward, Christian soldiers. How's everybody doing tonight? If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Now it happened when Jabin, king of Hazor, heard of it, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, or Madon. What do you think it is? Huh? And to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Akshaph. I struggled with that one last time too. And to the kings who were of the north in the hill country and in the Arabah, south of the Chinneroth, and in the Shephelah, and on the heights of Dor on the west, to the Canaanite on the east and on the west, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the hill country, and the Hivite at the foot of Hermon in the land of Mizpah. Then they came out, they and all their armies with them, as many people as the sand that is on the seashore, with very many horses and chariots. So all these kings agreed to meet, and they came and encamped together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. Then Yahweh said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid because of them, for tomorrow at this time I will give all of them over, slain before Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire." So Joshua and all the people of war with him, came upon them suddenly by the waters of Merom, and they fell upon them. And Yahweh gave them into the hand of Israel, so that they struck them down, and they pursued them as far as Great Sidon and Mizraphoth, Maim, and the valley of Mizpah to the east, and they struck them until there was no survivor remaining for them. And Joshua did to them as Yahweh had said to him. He hamstrung their horses and burned their chariots with fire. Then Joshua turned back at that time and captured Hazor and struck its king with the sword. Give me just a second. There we go. Struck its king with the sword, for Hazor formerly was the head of all these kingdoms. And they struck every person who was in it with the edge of the sword, devoting them to destruction. There was no one left who breathed, and he burned Hazor with fire. And Joshua captured all the cities of these kings and all their kings, and he struck them with the edge of the sword, and he devoted them to destruction, just as Moses, the servant of Yahweh, had commanded. However, Israel did not burn any cities that stood on their mounds, except Hazor alone, which Joshua burned. Now all the spoil of these cities and the cattle the sons of Israel took as their plunder, but they struck every man with the edge of the sword until they had destroyed them. They left no one remaining who breathed, just as Yahweh had commanded Moses, his servant. So Moses commanded Joshua, and so Joshua did. He left nothing undone of all that Yahweh had commanded Moses. Do you need out, Lofi? You need to go out? Yeah? I'll help you. Come here, baby. Oh, you're wonderful, and I love you. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. Thus Joshua took all that land, the hill country and all the Negev, all that land of Goshen, the Shephelah, the Arabah, the hill country of Israel, and at Shephelah, from Mount Halak, that rises toward Seir, even as far as Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon, at the foot of Mount Hermon. And he captured all their kings and struck them down and put them to death. Joshua waged war a long time with all these kings. There was not a city which made peace with the sons of Israel except the Hivites living in Gibeon. They took them all in battle. For it was of Yahweh to strengthen their hearts to meet Israel in battle, in order that he might devote them to destruction, that they might receive no mercy, but that he might destroy them, just as Yahweh had commanded Moses. Then Joshua came at that time and cut off the Anakim from the hill country, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the hill country of Judah, and from all the hill country of Israel. Joshua devoted them to destruction with their cities. There were no Anakim left in the land of the sons of Israel, only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod some remained. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that Yahweh had spoken to Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel according to their divisions by their tribes. Thus the land was quiet from war. And that was chapter 11 of Joshua.